I'm not the only savage one. So are Justin Baldoni's lawyers. This is so good. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, world-renowned journalist, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. Okay, this requires you to pay attention. Remember, Van Zan Veruca filed a subpoena against Justin Baldoni's lawyer and his law firm. That's a very unusual move. And after an in-person hearing in New York City, Judge Lyman ruled almost exclusively in favor of the Wayfarer parties. Denied. Nope, not getting this, not getting that. The only thing she got was responses that his lawyer agreed to, which were, oh, we don't have that. So she got nothing. Well, before Judge Lyman issued his ruling on Brian Friedman's subpoena, the law firm representing the Wayfarer parties filed a brilliant letter to the judge. Attached to that letter was an exhibit, Bland Boozley's deposition in full. A transcript of that, also from last week. And if you will remember, God, you have to be watching my videos every day, you guys. That letter from the Wayfarer parties was a response to a different letter from Team Kaka. Lawyers for the high priestess of subpoenas told the judge that Justin's side leaked her deposition details. And that filing the transcript of her deposition was just a transparent ploy to have it out there in the public record. It should be noted it was filed under seal, so the public did not see this yet. She was also angry that now Subpoena Serena has to fight to keep it sealed. She didn't like the optics of that. The shampoo company owner could already see the chatter. Blake Lively is trying to keep her deposition from the public. What is she trying to hide? If she only spoke the truth, then she wouldn't mind if this was out there, etc., etc., etc. And that leads us to this letter, today, just minutes ago, filed by a lawyer for the Baldoni Wayfarer parties. Kevin Fritz tells Judge Lyman, who must love me by now, because I have been flooding his docket with letters over the last 24 hours. Kevin Fritz tells Judge Lyman, quote, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios, LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie, LLC, Melissa Nathan, the agency group PR, and Jennifer Abel, collectively the Wayfarer parties. Interesting that they didn't include Jed Wallace in this, because he, yet again, is part of this lawsuit. It should be noted that recently in Texas, Jed Wallace, the digital expert hired last year by Baldoni, he informed the court in Texas, where litigation is proceeding, that he will file to be dismissed yet again from Delulu's New York complaint. He was previously dismissed, and the judge gave her the opportunity to file another amended complaint, and she did, and made some very weak connections between Jed Wallace and New York to try to keep him a part of this. Laughable. So, Kevin Fritz says, we write in opposition to Blake Lively's motion to strike her final in italics, deposition transcript, currently filed under seal from the docket and for related relief, the motion. Starting off with a bang, there's a footnote immediately following this that says, we are unclear why Miss Lively refers to her deposition transcript as a rough draft, given that the document is not marked as a rough draft, as such versions of transcripts traditionally are. Miss Lively frames her argument as a motion to strike pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12F and the court's inherent power. However, Rule 12F does not authorize this court to strike documents other than pleadings. This brings me great joy when Team Truth sets the record straight, because the lawyers for fake libelly repeatedly lie and misrepresent the truth. That's why yesterday I filed a request for sanctions against her attorneys. Yeah. This is so savage. They cite to the judge a previous ruling of his. Pleadings include only the complaint, answer to cross-claims and counterclaims, third-party complaint, answer to third-party complaint, and replies when ordered by the court. They do not include exhibits submitted in connection with oppositions to motions. Then they cite this case, C. Lee versus Springer Nature Am. Judge Lyman. Parentheses, denying motion to strike, opposition to motion to dismiss as procedurally improper. Further, Miss Lively does not contend that the deposition transcript contains abusive, improper, or libelous materials, which might warrant the court's exercise of its inherent power. Okay? So because she didn't do that, that other ability can't be used. Oh my God, you guys, the tone of this. I think I might have rubbed off on the Wayfarer parties. That might not be a good thing. His lawyer says, after all, the deposition transcript records Miss Lively's own words. Miss Lively contends that the transcript must be stricken based on her speculation that it was filed for the purpose of the transcript into the public domain as fodder for their media campaign. The transcript, however, was filed under seal, and Miss Lively has the option of moving to keep the document sealed. Although it is puzzling why she seeks to conceal her own testimony in an action in which she is the plaintiff. I mean, this is predictable, but it's still very satisfying. I love hearing it. The deposition transcript was filed in connection with Liner, Friedman, Tatelman, and Cooley, LLP's motion to quash Miss Lively's subpoena, seeking Brian Friedman's purported statements to content creators and the media. Parentheses, the subpoena. Liner Friedman moved to quash the subpoena, which motion has since been largely granted. As I told you all, the parties fully briefed the issues, and on July 30th, the court heard oral argument. No additional argument or supplemental briefing was requested by the court. Nevertheless, Miss Lively filed a letter with the court which purported to address certain questions with the court, but which was truly an improper submission of further argument on the motion to quash. Fact. Exclamation mark. There was none there, but I'm adding that. Boom! The Wayfarer parties responded, as I told you, citing Miss Lively's deposition transcript. This is why I read every single filing and I pay attention, because I would like to believe that I'm helping you understand things if you're not reading everything and if you're just casually catching up here and there, or even if you're just watching my videos. I would like to believe that I am providing you value, entertainment, news, like the reporter, journalist that I am, and making it easily digestible for you. So we continue. The Wayfarer parties responded to her improper submission of further argument on the motion to quash. The Wayfarer parties responded, citing Miss Lively's deposition transcript, which was attached as an exhibit to demonstrate for the court that Miss Lively's allegations of an ongoing smear campaign are unsubstantiated. By improperly submitting additional argument on the motion to quash, Miss Lively invited a response that would include evidence to establish the true reason why Miss Lively served the subpoena upon Liner Friedman. All right, pause. I'm team the truth, all right? I'm not team Baldoni Wayfarer. I'm definitely not team her. I understand this logic, but they could have just included the section of the transcript that was relevant. Instead of doing that, they included the entire transcript. I'm not mad at it. I just see it for what it is. It's petty and it's well played. But obviously, the lawyer can't tell the judge the true truth, can't reveal his hands. Strategy is strategy. But I could see right through it. I feel like I'm a lawyer now. I've learned so much and I got good instincts. Their motion today continues. It is routine for the court to consider deposition testimony in connection with discovery disputes. Once again, citing Judge Lyman. This is one of my favorite documents submitted in this case. Kudos to you, Kevin Fritz. They included this ruling from Judge Lyman about citing deposition testimony in order on motion to compel discovery. Their motion continues. Contrary to Miss Lively's contention, the Wayfarer parties did not hope to make her defend the continued sealing of the transcript so that they can advance a false narrative that she is afraid of her deposition testimony becoming public. Miss Lively will either move to... Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! They're not afraid of this because Miss Lively will either move to permanently seal her transcript or she will not. The choice is hers. I needed this. Miss Lively next alleges that it also appears that the Wayfarer defendants immediately leaked details from the deposition to the tabloid media. I am deceased right now. I am the Walking Dead. She does not cite any evidence. This is not surprising, as there is none. Boom. Boom. 2 booms. Hell, 3 booms. Boom, 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 boom. Meaning, as I'm sure you understood, they did not leak nothing, nada, from her deposition, they claim. Miss Lively also fails to explain why any such leak could not have originated from Miss Lively, her husband, her multiple attorneys, legal or administrative staff from the law firm representing her, whose office she demanded host the deposition. This is so brilliant. Or the catering staff employed thereby who served lunch. What a serve this is. Putting aside the identity of the culprit, the identities of those in attendance for her deposition are not newsworthy because all parties are entitled to attend all depositions. For the reasons set forth above, the motion should be denied. That was brilliant, but I don't have any faith in Judge Lyman, so I don't know how this will turn out. But you know what? I want more of this. I want their team to be more... I really think I rubbed off on them. This is the Perez effect. You're welcome. All right, my fam. Thoughts? Let's discuss everything in the comments section.